Okay, how about now? Can you guys hear me? Wow, so weird. It must be something like whoever starts the stage has this issue, because really, really weird. There's no reason this should still be happening. I'm on the browser this time. Very good. Okay, good. We would face always. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is, man. All right, well, cool. Main thing I want to let people know this week, we made the announcement about the DeFi Dungeons repos being open sourced. Those are in the main announcements channel. So there's two versions. One is the newer idle mode, which is what I was developing right before I stopped developing it. And the other one is the original dungeon mode, which actually has a lot of work done into it. There's a lot of cool stuff that you could pull out of that. That's called the DeFi Dungeons verse, and it contains like the whole dungeons code that I was working on. It contains a lot of the Calesius logic for the real-time gaming, although I never really like tested that, because it kind of became like a single player game. But all the logic for actually like having real-time multiplayer dungeons, or if you wanted to make that into like a Gotchiverse in your own way, it's all there. And I think it works generally pretty well, although I don't know what the scale of how many players you could support in a room. So there's a lot of questions there. But I did a lot of work on the Calesius logic for like syncing the players between that are in the same room. So if anyone wants to jump in, it's out there. It's on GitHub, and you're just a couple prompts away from getting it running locally, and then a couple more prompts away from getting it running on a Hetzner server, or the Ocean. What are the other ones out there? I forget the droplets or whatever it's called. So yeah, the Gotchiverse code, like I mentioned in the announcement as well, working on getting that one open sourced. It's quite a lot of work, because it's a big repo, and there's also a bunch of other smaller repos that are built for like various services and stuff. So I'm gonna try to have that one available for people, hopefully by next week if things go well, but it might be one week after that. But definitely within a reasonable time period for people that want to take the old Gotchiverse 2D for a spin. And throughout this whole transition period, I'll be continuing to open source each of the repos that Pixelcraft stewarded. So including Gotchiverse 3D will be coming probably after 2D. And then I think the biggest one is just the dApp. I've always said that I'm not super comfortable open sourcing the whole repo, because the moment we do, there's going to be a bunch of clones, there could be a bunch of clones of people creating new Aavegotchi.com websites that look like very similar to they look exactly like the current one, but they have like a slightly different URL, and then they can run Google ads, whatever they want, to like try and get that website to appear in the search results, which has happened before. I'm not like paranoid. This happened. There was one time where we accidentally like merged some of the code from one of our open source repos into from the dApp into one of our open source repos, and literally within 15 minutes, there was people out there like cloning it and spinning up fake Aavegotchi.com websites. So it's a very hostile environment out there. So the Aavegotchi dApp, I'm not going to make that call. That's up to the DAO. What I prefer to do is to just hand it over to the DAO as a closed source project. Whoever the DAO elects to be, stewards of the DApp. And then if the DAO feels like it's okay, at that point, make a vote, and you can open source the DApp. But it is kind of awkward just because, we want it to be an open source project, but it's fairly adverse environment out there. How does Aave solve that with OS? Well, Aave has a lot more pull probably than we do, and I mean the answer is they don't fully solve it. There are people out there impersonating Aave, but they are at the point where they can probably go and like make a complaint to Google or other search engines, and there's a good chance that they'll probably help them take it down. But yeah, I'm not really sure how they handle that. But I do know that there's always like clones of websites popping up, and just the fact if you make it open source, it makes it even easier to do that. What about Spirit Force? Yeah, I think that is definitely on the list. I have to check exactly what. I think that's part of the. I think it's like in the Gotchiverse 3D repo. So once I start doing that one, I'll open up all the Spirit Force Arena code and be able to look at that one. Are there any things we can register the real site URL with, like wallets, etc.? Yeah, there's probably like repos that MetaMask or Rabby maintain that could, if someone's using a wallet like Rabby, maybe it'll flag it. I mean, they're fairly good about that kind of stuff. And if you do a transaction that is gonna like drain your wallet, a wallet like Rabby will generally tell you. But I just don't want this action to result in a bunch of people losing money because of a phishing link when it's kind of avoidable. So we can continue doing our due diligence on that and maybe have a deeper conversation with the DAO about what does the community think of open source versus not open source, and then kind of come to a final decision on that. But we're not going to unilaterally make that decision for the DAO. Is it possible to reintroduce holding tokens inside gotchis to get some APR? So the reason we removed the staking inside gotchis when we moved to base was because a lot of the tokens that the gotchis represent are not on the base version of Aave. So like if you had a polygotchi, there's no collateral on Aave for Polygon on base. So that's why that was like the main reason for removing it when we did the migration. If you want to reintroduce it, you could, but I think the caveat is that the SVGs of the Aavegotchis aren't going to match what might be in them. Not in all situations, but there's definitely multiple gotchis that wouldn't be represented, wouldn't be able to hold any tokens inside them. So if people want to brainstorm some ideas about how to get around that, that's fine. But with the original mechanic, it wouldn't work. Trying to get rid of the forehead logos. Yeah. I always thought it'd be interesting to add more logos, not less, to the gotchis. I think we talked at some point about having maybe if the collateral inside it didn't really matter, then you could maybe have a Doge gotchi with a Doge logo on it. I think that'd be kind of cool. Or different various other cryptos. And they wouldn't have to, they wouldn't necessarily have to hold Doge. They would just be more they'd be a mascot. But anyway. That was the main update I wanted to convey. Jesse did bump the IP transfer template in the PC DAO transition thread, and just asked if anyone is we're not going to transfer the IP until the DAO has made a proposal to approve the IP being transferred. So that is the blocker currently. Hoping someone will step up and will create that prop on behalf of the DAO. Can't have people's logos on your forehead if you want to be a serious IP. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Hey, Roxiano.
Hi, GM. Can you hear me? Hold on.
I can't hear her if she's talking.
Okay, how about now?
There we go. Yep.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I always have to switch my mic when I come up here. But GM. Yeah. Is it time for the dower? Let's see.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to talk about this week.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, important. Yeah, I hope someone makes that proposal, the transition proposal. So yeah, Faye said write it into the lore that they were crypto face tattoos that the gotchis ended up regretting.
Right.
That would give them good character, maybe. Backstory. Okay, so I'll get started. Welcome to this week's DAO Call. I may be hosting for the last time, maybe or maybe not, depending on if the vote goes through to renew my position here and phase in Forin. But we shall see. But yeah, it's sad that I might not be able to do this anymore if the proposal doesn't pass. But I just wanted to say thank you all. And it was a really, really good time, really good opportunity. So without further ado, I'll get started summarizing the active proposals. Let's see. First one we have is the Treasurer Office Role SIGPROP by Maxicrouton. It's from May 16th to June 16th. It's to continue or remove the Treasurer role. I will copy and paste that link into the chat. 90.92% voted for yes, and the quorum is at 42.5% with 10 days left to vote to continue the Treasurer role. Next is Treasury Management Proposal, Stablecoins and ETH, and AAVE and MORPHO Whitelisting, a SIGPROP by Maxicrouton. From May 20 to June 20th is the voting period, and it is for converting crypto and giving autonomy to the directors. Here is the link for that one. 93.04% have voted to agree, and 37.6% is the quorum with 2 weeks left. Next up, we have another Treasury Management Proposal for AERO and Reward Token Conversion Framework, a SIGPROP by Maxicrouton, May 22nd to June 25th, to swap the DAO's AERO holdings and make conversion more responsive. Link for that one's in the chat. 94.4% have voted for yes, do it, and the quorum is at 42.7% with 19 days left. That's for the proposal, and then we also have a poll. And for the poll, it's basically voting which crypto. 66.3% have voted to swap to ETH. 19.48% for wrapped Bitcoin, and it's at 42% quorum with 19 days left as well. And finally, we have the facilitator proposals. The new DAO Facilitator Role Term by myself, Forin, and Phase is from June 2nd to June 16th to renew our term for the 3 DAO Facilitators. This one, link in the chat. 59.85% have voted for no, and the quorum is at 16.4 with 10 days left. And then we have another competing proposal. It's called Elect DAO Facilitators with a Realistically Reduced Pay Rate. It's created by Al. That one is from June 4th to June 18th. And it's for an election with 2 facilitators that are unknown right now. And it has 96.99% votes for yes and a 7.13% quorum with 12 days left to vote. And the link for that one is here in the chat as well. Okay, so that is it for the proposal summary. And we have our discussion. We have a few discussion topics up for talking about. The first one is, well, it can go in any order, but it's a subgraph update by user default. If you want to come up here on the stage, user default, let's see, he posted into the forum called A Path Forward by Immaterial with a screenshot. Welcome, user default.
Morning, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Morning, everybody. So, good news. I was able to get all of the subgraphs running. Let me.
Awesome.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So, as of right now, we do have. Oh, it's off right now. But I do have all the subgraphs running. Let me see if I can pull it up. Admin side. So, oops. 1 second. Here, let me come back. I forgot to push it real quick, and then I'll come back on the stage right now. But for the most part, I have all of I have the Aavegotchi core graph. I have it has the bazaar, it has the auctions in there. Let's see, what else did I get up there? I got the SVGs in the portals, so we got those running. I also supplementarily put up I saw there's a subgraph for the Alchemicas, and I saw one for the glitter staking, so I added those 2 there. But for the most part, the subgraph has been running, and the arcade side has been using the subgraph. So it's up and running. There are some pros to going with what we have right now. The cost specifically. Each subgraph right now costs about $7 to $8 to run. So it comes out to about what, $60 to run all of the subgraphs if you want every month. Another bonus is that you can pay in Flux tokens. So we don't need like a credit card in this situation like we do for the other infrastructure stuff we need. So we technically can just purchase Flux tokens. It's wrapped Flux on base. And then you use the Flux wallet to bridge it over to the Flux network, and then you just use that for payment. So I was able to get that transferred over, up and running. So if in the event that we do sunset the Gold Sky, because the Gold Sky is costing us a significantly lot more money right now. The cons of using Flux is the fact that we are only running 1 instance of every subgraph right now. So meaning like if the core one goes down, then everything goes down. So I'd have to go back and get it up and running again. If we wanted to have like a backup instance, then we would just double it. So instead of paying $60, we would pay $120 a month, and then we'd have 2 instances running. So just in case one goes down, there will always be another one. Flux recommends 3 instances, but it's up to us in our discretion. And then the other con is that since we're sitting on just 1 instance, people from other places around the world, the performance might suffer because it's not relatively available to them in their area. You can still use it. It's just I don't think the performance is as great as if we had an instance, let's say in Asia. Any users over there, they would definitely improve on that because I believe like the main core one I think is in like Florida or Washington, something like that. So that's just some kind of things we can contemplate. But even if we were to run 3 instances, it'd probably hit us about about $300 a month, which is still way better than the 1,300. And I feel like that's a pretty good savings that we can use and apply to, let's say, the facilitator roles, so that way, we're not burning through our money. And then the last thing I have updated is the fake gotchis are now, let's see here. Yeah, the fake gotchis, I finally got it synced last night. So if you go to the fake gotchi site on the arcade website, it will open inside of our site now, and it has everything for people to purchase and check out the collection too. And then when the update's done, or when it's done pushing to production, then I will share my screen. So for right now, I'll just step away and then I'll come right back.
All right, awesome. Yeah. Okay, sounds perfect. But yeah, if you guys want, is there user default? Is there a forum specifically for the Flux token stuff?
Is there a forum like to debate about it?
Sure. If anyone has opinions
Oh,
or wants to.
oh no, I'm guilty. I'm the worst at communicating.
Oh,
So no, not
no worries.
Fred. Yeah. So I mean, eventually I'll find a way to get to that part. But yeah, right now I just want to keep my head down and make sure I keep building and getting everything kind of wrapped up for us for the transition, really. So like next week, I'm just gonna work on the IP template that Jesse has. Um, I'm gonna add the multi-sig signatures to all of the decision makings, and so that way, if we decide to use the template that I'm working on, um, it will have everything recorded on chain for all actions. So that's really the goal for next week, is to work on the IP, and I will definitely. So you want me to go to the Discord, to the threads, and open up like a new channel?
Sure, yeah, just basically what you were talking about. You can just yeah, just to power the subgraphs, maybe sunset the one thing to invest in the other thing so that we can fund the subgraphs and run them,
Got it.
and then it'll be like just a lot easier for people to understand, and maybe we can have a proposal after that.
Got it. Okay. I will definitely get that up there.
Yeah, of course. Awesome. But if anyone is curious about what he posted this week about that, there's a path forward by a material. It should be the latest post. All right. And we will revisit this topic soon. In the meantime, I can talk about some of the active forums. I will bump the thread by Sudeep. It has not really been active this week, but it was discussed last week. So yeah, hopefully there's progress on that or on that discussion. Then there's also the a pixelgraph and DAO transition thread by Coder Dan. Had some activity. VR Dev compared the income Coder Dan claimed PC has made to the numbers they filed with ACRA, the Accounting and Corporate Regulatory Authority in Singapore, noting a large discrepancy of 970K USD 970K. Coderdan replied with this explanation: the ACRA figure includes revenue recognized in that reporting period for accounting purposes, not new income received during that period. The older revenue was recognized over time because the project remained under ongoing development. And yeah, so that was it for that thread. And he cleared up that with that explanation. And yeah, basically the only question left for that one is who was going to make the SIGPROP for the transition. And if anyone wants to step up, that'd be great. I will post that link to here. There that is, the transition thread. Almighty transition. Okay, Nestor is coming to the stage right now. Welcome, Nestor. Your mic is muted.
Then again, hi. Now I see it.
Hi.
Hi, user. Hi, Roxy. Sorry, always the same. But now I gladly do it. Yes. I wanted to talk with user default. Did I understand correctly? Would you want? That's the question. If we want to do it with the new UI, as I understood it, with which we would do the proposals in the future, I would think this is like a special proposal. So, maybe this will be the last one that is done before that, because time is of an essence, I think. And this is just a show of will and intent. Do I understand that correctly? Like a question into the round here. With the SIGPROP, we are not deciding like specifics, like the details, the technical details you talked about, Coderdan. But simply that we want to do it, because that's the first question to, well, be certain of. What do you think?
Sorry, can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah, I repeat the question. The SIGPROP, in this case, will not clarify any details about technicalities. That is personal, who will be in which position, who will be responsible for which department. That's my question. Do we want also the details in this SIGPROP or not? Yeah, I guess we are talking about that, yes. Because I saw user default, you have a super section about, I think you showed it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can hear you.
Okay.
Maybe I'm
I just
coming.
wanted to clarify that there's two proposals that we've put out templates for. One is for the IP transfer, and that's, I think we even put out a simplified version of that one, which is, it's literally just the DAO basically saying, hey, yes, we want to accept the IP, and then we can show that to the IP lawyers on our side, and it'll just make it a lot easier to make that transfer. That doesn't require any of the like transition team or talks about who's going to manage the DApp or or any of that stuff. It's quite simple. The other one is the more in-depth one, which is like who's gonna. I think Jesse has put out a template for like a potential 3-role team, which is like a product lead, I think a software lead, and a comms lead. That's just one option. Like the DAO doesn't have to use that specific template, and I don't think it probably will. Like whoever ends up making a prop will probably come up with their own custom template for that. But that's just when we were thinking through this, that was one angle or direction that we thought the DAO, just to give people like a sense of what the transition could look like. And so that one, that's definitely, I mean, it's still high priority because the clock has started ticking now. But I would say the IP transfer one is probably the fastest one to get through, and there's not that many complicating details around it.
Okay. So no decisions to be made, as I understand it. It's just, yes, we, the DAO, are willing and we want to take over or receive the IP, and we will go through the SIG proposal, I think, like in 1.5 weeks, and another 2 weeks maybe for the core proposal or something longer.
Yeah, I think so. I think it should be pretty straightforward.
Straightforward. That would be in a month. So in a month, and during that, we could also start to think about how to formulate the SIG proposal and how also to implement maybe some features of user default site. I also thought about like a system, an on-chain system, how elections would take place, because these posts, of course, will be have to renewed after a certain time, and I think we should start to think about the technical implementation with the structure. I think that should go like its operations, so hand in hand. And thank you. And at that point, user default again. It's great and a very important building block in this process.
So I can. Okay, so let me see if I can clarify some of those questions. So the tools that I'm building on the arcade side is an option. I'm just building it out to make just as an option. So if the DAO, if they want to vote and say, hey, let's use this site to do all of the voting, it's up already. Let me share the screen again. So again, the election site is live and it is on the public site, and this is what all of our members would use. And again, this is all signed on. It can, how about this? Once we get the snapshot, once I get snapshot for the Aavegotchi, like the information to hook up the snapshot to the arcade, then yeah, like because the goal is we use this. It's hooked up to snapshot. You place your snapshot. You go to the elections to place your candidacy. You can choose and vote on who you want. Those votes will be connected to a snapshot, and then I have it on the back end so that way it's automated where once the election on snapshot closes, it will automatically propagate those members into the seats, and then the council member. So you'll need 2 council members to go in and hit the publish. So we have 2 recorded wallets of who approved or who wants to set it and like set it in stone on chain. And that's how I would see. And once you have the 2 signatures go through, then on the back end, it will automatically slot everybody into the seats that we have available.
That's perfect. I had something like that in mind, but I wouldn't have been able to make it. So that's great, and it also the design is great. I like that. Candidates, maybe AA.
Smart. Got it. You're right.
Kind of thing. No, I think that should be like that. I think if you are a candidate, you should be like identifiable by an address. I think that's okay. Or maybe other options, GitHub. There are certainly several options, but I think that's a good idea. And you could also, as you say, after the election concludes, the results, for example, would also be published right directly on the site.
I believe on the let me exit out of this guy. I think I updated it. Yeah, overview. I believe in the overview. So you see how they're empty right now? And again,
Yeah.
this is just placeholders.
Yeah.
But this is where on the back end, once like I said, once snapshot goes through and it confirms it, then on the back end it will automatically no, sorry, not automatically. Once the two council members go ahead and or so whatever seat members, they both sign on to the wall and say yes, please publish. Then it will show up all of the everyone who won the elections. They would be slotted into their seats. So and this is publicly viewed. Like anybody can come and they can take a look at our who's on the council, the structure of this, our runway. They can check the accounting if they wanted to. I mean, we don't have to show all this stuff, but for transparency's sake, all of the information is fully accessible to the
I
public
think that's
without
very
having to
interesting.
use the admin side. The admin side is really just for us to create new features, proposals, to manage the accounting,
Hmm?
the voting. What else was there? It's just a whole bunch of stuff that, as they've come along, I've just been building the tools to manage it. But for the most part, yeah, let's see here. Let me just pull it up, make it easier for me. So on the
But who
admin
knows?
side, we
Maybe.
have
Mhm.
what?
Maybe this is something that will inspire other DAOs too. There's.
I was kind of,
uh,
I was gonna pitch. I was kind of rummaging this idea with Coder Dan was like, if what we build after this really helps organize the DAO and it becomes
yeah.
really efficient, well, fuck it. Why don't we just
Yeah.
become a
DAO
SaaS,
tools.
bro, and just like offer DAO services to other DAOs on how to manage
Correctly.
their
Right.
shit? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
We are
another
certainly.
it's another stream of income that the DAO can then put up and say, hey, look,
Mhm.
we figured out how to organize DAOs. You guys want to use our SaaS service? It's $50 a month.
Yeah, I found some a GitHub repo from an older project. It was like a university project of some sorts, and fairly, you have to no UI, nothing beautiful. I think I downloaded so many repos. I didn't look into it in detail, but I think there is certainly demand for that. I could imagine, yeah. And as
I
you
can
say,
imagine
50,
too. I
50
think,
mhm,
yeah, I can only
for 50
imagine that
bucks.
we're not the only DAOs going through this. So I figure some other DAOs that are trying to keep it together while they're going through transition state phases. Also, this
Yes,
might be a service that they can use.
Yeah, we had a
exactly. And mhm,
sorry.
go ahead.
There was a
No, go
question
ahead.
on the from the previous page. It said that you had to sign in with Lens in order to vote. Would that be the only way to sign in?
So the lens really was just for the to propose your candidacy. And look, so let me clarify. So the reason why I've been using Lens is because I don't want like another like backend for like saving all of these forum posts. So I figured, fuck it, let's just use Lens and shit and just post it on there instead, and I don't have to worry or manage about a DB. Like even perfect. So that's why I decided to go with Lens. And plus, it's kind of with the tradition of us being on crypto and being decentralized. So I figured let's just record everything on Lens. It's technically on chain, so it can always be verified. And like I said, we can always pull that information into the site, and that's how, like I said, candidacies can be made. But the voting part will be made through Snapshot. It's just that from my side, I can't make anything official to the Aavegotchi snapshot. So
Okay, thanks for clarifying. Yeah. FaZe says it's really easy to get on Lens now and it's open, so we don't need an invite. I remember like a
yep.
while ago it was closed, so we needed an invite, and I was personally even having trouble getting on with that. But yeah.
And if you go on to if you go on to connect to Lens, if you do not have a Lens account, there is a quick little setup modal that will pop up, and then you just register a Lens name, and you should be able to vote fairly quickly.
All right, awesome. Yeah. Good stuff to keep in mind.
Oh, so while
So
I'm up here right now, so let me just clarify for everybody. Yes, I was on the fake wars team. Yes, I am the developer. I did develop the game up to the alpha point. However, I did not have any support from the other two. They did ghost me after the first like 3 weeks, and I lacked the art, which was whatever that dude's name was. He was supposed to be in charge of the art. Mike Callion was supposed to be in charge of all communications and game balancing for me to implement, but he never got back to it. When I got done with the alpha, game sucks. It was like really boring. It's just basically just who has a higher number. And I was like, bro, this sucks. So I went back to him. I told him, hey, dude, you gotta give me something better than this. So it's like this is pointless. But then again, I never got any answers. I think the last like maybe a month and a half after like we were supposed to deliver the project, he finally reached out, and I was like, bro, like I don't know what you were doing, but like this is kind of fucked up that you left me high and dry. So I continued working on balancing the game after like the whole shit went down. But then I'm gonna be honest with you, like I don't want to spend any more time building a game that it wasn't, it's not a game that I wanted to build, and I don't know how he wanted it to come out to be. So I was like, this is pointless. Let me just work on on something else that at least I want to build. So, yeah, that's just kind of how it ended up as. So, look, if you guys want me to return the $6,000 I got, I'll return it. I figured, you know what? Let me make it up to everybody and see if I can help with the transition phase. If you guys want, I can put up the cost for the subgraphs, since I already have it up there, and I can just pay back the $6,000 if the DAO really wants me to do it that way. Just so that way I can just get this monkey off my back.
That's a great offer. Very, very correct of you, I think. And you said you did work, so essentially it is somewhere. Is it in a repo
Oh
accessible?
yeah, I have it. It's on Unity. Like I built it out. Oh, that was another thing too. Like
So you did the
when
work,
I,
you
when
know.
when
So
I signed on, I told him like I'm a JavaScript developer. Like I don't really know Unity.
okay.
So this is my fault. I took
So,
on the role of trying to learn Unity while we built the game. So
mm,
yes, that was my big mistake. So it took me a whole first month just to get on, learning how to use the Unity editor. But once I got that first month down, then the second month I was able to get the lobby
uh-huh.
set working and the matchmaking and all like the anti-cheating stuff. And then I got to the game in the third month,
Mhm.
which I got it to work. Like you can connect two multiplayers on there. You can play your
Okay.
cards and play that stupid tic-tac-toe thing. But
Uh-huh.
again,
It
it
is
I'm being
the
honest, it
idea
sucks.
is not clear.
Yeah.
The lore behind it, or so the DAO paid you essentially to learn Unity. I think that's a good investment. This you wrote this in Unity, right?
Now
Or
and yeah,
maybe
now the plus side is after this, I did make 4 other alpha games that I'm going to put into the DAO, so that way you guys can see the MVPs I've made. Like I said, I've made one that's kind of like a Dota.
Mhm.
I've made a Monopoly game. I've made a kind of like a GTA. It's the original drug war game that you used to play on the calculators. I built one of those out, but it's gonna be like like you move your Aavegotchi to the cities to do your transactions as opposed to just
Cool.
UI. And then the last one I've been working on is like a Gotchi craft, like a Warcraft clone, like a Warcraft 2, something basic and simple. Obviously, everything is in 2D, but for the
Mhm.
most part, that's kind of where my focus is getting into. Is just like, look, if we're gonna stick with Unity, then let me just learn it all. So I
Yeah,
feel much more confident in what I can do now, and to the point of like
great.
before, like we did
So
not have the AI that we have now,
mhm.
so it's a lot easier for me to kind of grasp and get stuff done faster now.
I think you could see it. I would, yeah, if I had to write it into a book as a DAO investment into our in-house, developer. So I think I could justify the investment. And as you said, you already gave a lot back. I don't know what the developer hour costs, but I guess it's a few hundred. So I think a budget of 6,000 for the kind of work you already did would be, yeah,
And
a
like I
good
said, for the
investment.
most part, I have no intentions of asking for any money from anybody here. Like no, like I'm not going through that DAO role anymore. Just like I said, I don't want the project to die. I'm just here to keep it moving forward.
Wow,
The
yeah.
arcade site was like what was it when January is when I kind of started working on the project. Was like, hey, I want to see the 2D kind of come back to life since the 3D wasn't really going anywhere. So this is why I decided to bring back the 2D version site. And once I got the 2D version back, I was like, well, let me build the arcade for it. So that's why I'm starting to fill out all of like I'm trying to fill out the arcade with as many MVPs. But again, I'm not an artist. Like that's where I shoot. Like right now with AI, like my goal right now is to build some kind of workflow with some of these third party companies so that I can get the art via AI, at least for like the alphas and like the MVPs.
Yeah.
So that way it looks a lot nicer than just some stupid random squares. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like I said, for the
Workflows.
most part,
Mhm.
what's up?
Mhm. The workflows. I think that's the central point as I learn about the things, and Nadia could also, of course, share everybody who is working with AI to create the workflow you need, the specific workflow for your kind of work, right?
Yeah, like I said, like the two things that I don't like about game development is the art and the game
Mhm.
balancing. Like those are two things that they don't interest me, but I like building the game. And so like it's and that's kind of where I get shot in the foot. And this is where I'd rather have help from the DAO that, if they see a game that they like, then, help me out and just help me out like right out the game, like the balancing of it, and we can get these things pushed forward faster.
I remember there was someone posted years back. I got it somewhere. A PDF, a book about game balancing. That was around the time as the Gajiverse started. I think that 2,000 pages. $600 book, and it is an art and a science. Yeah. So as you say, it's like a complementary work. We know that game studios invest billions, like GTA, into the development of sophisticated games. But it's as you said, Monopoly, yeah, or a car racing game, car chasing game is you can spend weeks with these things. Yeah. So the art, I think we have a lot of artists. I see some in the audience, and I think love of games, love for games, it's something that definitely connects. Um, I think almost anybody, except maybe for the traders, but also you could see that's also a game.
Yeah, so for the most part, the arcade side really is like I said, it's just the architecture that I've been working on to offer the DAO the tooling. It did come to mind that hey, look, if we can develop like a platform that the DAO can actually use, um, and test out for like a year, then I think that we can develop it into a SaaS program and offer it up to other DAOs right now. Because I've also looked into the other DAO management programs, like
Yeah.
they only really manage is like the proposals and votes
Mhm,
and maybe even like the what's it called? What do you call that? The org tree. But
mhm.
there's no real like accounting. There's no departments
Mhm.
for like tech or like none of those ever like engulf everything. Like there's
Yeah.
no payroll for the DAO to use.
Yes.
So I figured, well, then why don't we just create our own since everything's now available to us, and then
So.
package it, and then like I said, and I told like I was telling him, Coder Dan was that I
Mhm.
just recently got off you know building another one where it's a continuing it's a CI program. So basically, like anyone can just go in, sign up for their own account for their own DAO management account, and it will automatically propagate them their own site, so that way they can log in and they can manage their DAO how they want to do it, and we can charge it up as a SaaS.
Oh. So so you see it holistically. You see it also as a product. You see it as a long-term project, and all the experiences and all the sections and departments of a DAO should it should be possible like make it modular. You can every
Mhm.
DAO is a little bit different. So, but as you say, there are many aspects, and there is no product on the market, as I understand you, that encompasses like everything, from bookkeeping to maybe voting, the mm, investing, or as we spoke, I think 2 weeks back, um, from the idea to the financing of a project, all of that, all of these aspects that a DAO consists of. Great,
Yeah, and
that's
so
really
I
great.
mean, really, the only thing I could use help on is really just people to log on and use it. And
Yeah.
any feedback would be great for me to go ahead
Okay.
and re-implement it. Like I like again, thank you for those that have. But just going through the site, if you see there's a page that I missed or wasn't styled right, or if a tool's not working, like just shoot me a DM and I can go back in and quickly fix it up.
All right. And maybe it would also be a good use case would be the hackathon. Is that something that you still also think about simultaneously?
Yep, the hackathon is also available on. Let me pull it back up. Share screen. Okay. Can you see it?
Yep, I can
Can you
see
see my
it.
screen? See? Okay, good. So if you're on the DAO public side, you would go to the DAO link. You would go to hackathon down here. Like I said, everything's still here. Like the ideas are still available for us to go ahead. You can still connect to it. And then if we would look at it on the admin side, you would go to, let's see, where did I put this thing in? Hackathon. Where's hackathon? I forgot where I put it. Oh, duh. Go back. It's its own button. Hackathon. There it is. And so this would be the tool that the council members would use to further any of the game developments. So like I said, everything starts off as an idea. It goes under review, and then we begin a roadmap for the actual game. And then if the roadmap gets approved, then we begin the funding part. If the project reaches its funding goals, then we begin the hackathon of actually developing and getting it up and running. Everyone's submissions get put into the review process right there. DAO vote on it, and then whichever one goes through, then in the milestone, we begin the process of actually implementing it. And like I said, the process of this is we no longer pay upfront for the entire project. We pay for the phases. So the first any idea that comes out has to go through MVP stage and only MVP funding. Think of it that way. So that way there's a cap and everyone knows, okay, if you're going to build an MVP for this community, this is the X amount of money that we've set aside for any kind of MVP that we want to pay for. And that way, if we like an MVP and we don't spend that much money on it, then we can move on to like an alpha and say, okay, cool, we like this game. It's been tested out. The DAO likes it. They voted, said to move forward with this one idea. And then we do this again. We'll come with the roadmap. What does the alpha look like? We jot it down. And then we start the funding again to see if we want the alpha to reach. If the alpha reaches, great, we implement it. And then we just rinse and repeat until we finally get to a releasable title. In terms of the hackathon budget, where did it go? Give me a second. It's been a minute since I've been here.
It depends. It depends on the game, right? But
oh yeah, everything has to be dependent on the game that we decide that we want. Again, I just randomly, arbitrarily put down $140,000 aside for game development. I believe after, let me see if I have
developments, plural, like
developments. Yeah, I remember I ran the numbers and it showed that I'm trying to remember. Oh, here it goes, hackathon calculator. So yeah, so this is kind of how I broke it down. So like, for like the MVPs, we'd have like a first place would get the 3,000, second place would get, again, these are just placeholder values, so don't anyone get butthurt. But for the most part, these are just like the first, second, third for the MVP contest. For the alpha, we probably paid $5,000 to get it done. If we want to move on to beta, let's just say 8,000. If we want a final review, it's like 5,000. If we want a full release, then $1,000 plus, let's say a $2,000 bonus if we hit a certain amount of players or whatever. Again, this is just placeholder information, but based on these little numbers right here, we can have technically 4 fully funded games with 140 grand. Like actual games that you can list on a Steam or stuff like that. Like a fully polished,
Like the ongoing costs would be extra. Like the game would have to be also, if it is deployable, also means sustainable, right? So
yes.
yeah.
Like it has to have the server costs involved inside of it, so that way there is no, we need X amount of money to keep it running. Like no. Before we even vote on it, we're gonna find out how much it's gonna cost for us to keep it running.
But if you think about it, everybody is like, I think I paid a lot more for Gachi Guardians, for example. But let's say it's €5 or dollars a month, and you have like, I don't know, 100 players, and maybe some upgrade costs or something like that. If you can produce at least, I don't know, $1,000, $2,000, so you could at least run the service, right? But concretely, I think that was the first idea I had. I think this idea over at GBM, they are playing a car game, a racing game. I see, Musashi, you are here. There are so many variants, and it's one of my favorite genres. Want to be specific. A car game, is it? I think that's one of the. Is it possibly one of the easiest ideas? Like something like Micro Machines back in the day, in the 90s. That was like we played that every day.
The other thing that I was thinking of is like we should just expand the merch shop. I think that's like another, and then like I like those AI plushie dolls. I was going online
Wow.
the other night to research to see how much it would be. I mean, they're not. I mean, to get like demos at least, it costs about like almost $200 to get these like
one demo.
Samples of the plushie dolls.
Samples. Okay.
And then, but then like I looked at their wholesale prices and they're not any better. Like once we go wholesale, I'm like, fuck, okay, so this sucks. So we just gotta find some Chinese manufacturer that once we get like a nice looking model that we want to replicate, then yeah, we gotta go to China somehow and get these things replicated.
At the start, we should have some very nice models that are representative, like maybe the logo Gotchi, and they are definitely, that's something that belongs into. I don't even want to think about it. Every YouTuber has a plushie here in Europe, and I had to buy my son. He has like eight plushies of his through the times. Like it's memorabilia, you know. So he has his 8 plushies of 8 YouTubers, and they produce them like for, I think 40 euros. You have to pay 40 euros approximately for like this. It's a tiny plushie, you know, 30 centimeters. Like how much is it? A foot or not much.
The quote I got was for 11 inches, and that was considered the big one, and that was like $179 to get that made out.
Yeah. But that's like a standard item, for every like European YouTuber who is like, I don't know, over 1 million like gaming YouTubers, you know, Minecraft YouTubers. So yeah, that's the question. If you would produce like 100 or 1,000 of them, I think the cost would go down considerably, and this would also be an idea for like the pipeline you presented. Like the idea would be we hire this company in Shenzhen or wherever, and that would be the pipeline. Like a budget could also be calculated, and this would follow the same path like a game, right? From idea to
and then
production.
And then if anything, I can go back to the site and
Alibaba.
I can change the ideas so that way it's not limited to just game ideas. Like it should be open up to any idea. So I'll change the architecture in the back so that way you can submit any idea, not just a game idea.
Yes, because you could, you know, there's the philosophy, everything's a game, and everything's a product on the other side. So everywhere you have like people who have to work on it, who have to reach milestones, who have to make some calls and so on, and document things. So I think it's similar, right? But yeah, that's a minor thing. But more importantly, how much would it cost? And well, as I see, there is some picture from Visitor. It's like original from Alibaba. I don't really know how to interpret it, but I know these little squids. Minimum order.
That looks like some Pop Mart stuff ish.
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, Pop Mart stuff would actually be kind of cool, but I don't know how or where you would get a Pop Mart Aavegotchi made.
Well, how much would it cost? How much would it be? Would it be worth the try?
I mean,
and Yeah.
maybe if we do set aside like a small, but like $1,000 to
Yeah.
buy like the prototypes,
Mhm.
then yeah, maybe that would be an idea. Because then that way we can go out, we can physically buy, we can pay, have the actual tangible item, and then show it off to the DAO, and at least we'll have options from there to say, hey, look, we'll go with X supplier for that.
Well, that would be the first edition. We would sell the first edition for an extra price, of course. That I think we would find maybe not if not 100 members, but the members who would buy like or buy up for a certain price those first edition gotchis, maybe. How many sets do we have? Isn't it like something around 100? Who would
Oh, for
know
like the
that?
wearable set?
Yeah, wearable sets, of course. Yeah,
I think
not
there
yet.
was what, 70 of them? Or
70. Okay, so we are speaking about 70 generation 1 first idea prototype plush Aavegotchis. I would pay, how much would you pay? $200 times 700? Or, yeah, let's make it 10. Or times 70. 200 times 70, 14,000 would be the, revenue. And the cost,
Well, the cost is the thing that we have to keep shopping around, because right now, like, I think China is the best. Everything here in America, it's so expensive.
it's still
like,
China,
it
right?
has to go.
Or Vietnam, maybe, or I don't know.
Either,
Maybe it will come back. Yeah, people are out of work here too, so maybe they will be glad. And a handmade plushie, well,
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's cheap to mass produce the plushies. And it's like a big business to sell them overseas and stuff. It's a whole thing on TikTok and all that. Anyway, we've reached the halfway point of the call, and we still have 2 topics to cover. So I'm gonna move us along. Our next topic is with Ben Daddy about the IP. Let's see. The turning Aavegotchi IP into a real business, and there is a
guys hear me?
forum for that. Yes, I can hear you. Welcome. And yeah, No Future has a point that saying Bin Daddy is weird. Can I just call you Laggin?
Hold on, guys. I'll figure this out. My old nemesis speaker on iPhone has returned.
Okay, yeah. Understandable. So I posted the link for that thread in the chat there if anyone wants to check that out. It's got some good stuff in it. That sounded like a
You hear
cat
me?
meowing for a sec. Yes, I can hear you now.
Nice. Okay, yeah. So just to chime in here on what you guys were talking about, I absolutely agree, obviously, with this whole merch direction, right? And like some people were saying, it all comes down to whether or not you have an audience, right? We've talked about creating merch. We've even created merch in the past, like sweaters and comic books and I don't know what, but ultimately it was a huge circle jerk, basically. Like we were selling it to each other, basically. You know what I mean? We never broke out of our little crypto gaming bubble. So yeah, my whole idea is that now with this huge opportunity that we have, which is the IP transferring over to the DAO, we should be putting our eggs, at least some of our eggs, into that basket and taking a real shot at making this IP something. Because arguably everything that we've spent money on, from the games, from Aavegotchi to Battler to everything that Pixelcraft has done over the past 6 years, has been an investment in the IP. And particularly the last $3 million that we handed out to Pixelcraft was literally the only collateral was the IP. So we've paid for this thing in the millions of dollars, right? And now, the way I see it is we have basically 2 choices, which is to do this like whole defensive like shell up mode and try to like stay alive as long as possible, or try to actually to monetize on this thing that we're getting right now, which is the only asset that actually has some kind of potential to reaching that mainstream audience that we've all been dreaming about from day one. We
Yeah,
have
but as you say, a year-long investment, as you say, that was a long investment into the IP, and but now we have like the products where maybe it was the thing, as you say, where to distribute, where what
right. So my concept is, I don't know if somebody can help me by dropping the link that I posted, but I talk all about it. It's all about distributing the IP through short form video. That's the modern playground where IPs are being discovered right now. It's everything. And like we're not even participating in that. YouTube, Instagram Reels, TikTok. This is where we need to be putting our main push. And I've seen this happen live in front of me in another project that I'm part of called Gigaverse. It took literally 6 months to go from zero to the biggest growing IP in Web3 right now. A million subscribers on YouTube in 6 months, 1 billion views across all socials. And the way they did it, the exact same playbook that I'm proposing, which is they didn't talk about crypto, they didn't talk about DeFi, they didn't talk about anything like that. They simply spread the character IP in these fun videos, and they followed these like really specific formats that that the algorithm helps you, it boosts you up basically. So that's the plan basically. Is you do that. It's basically what we did for Jiffy. I also talk about this in the document. Jiffy to me is the proof of concept that our IP is not the problem. It's not. We don't have an IP problem. People like the ghost. They like the character. We got millions of views, but the only thing we did was we did it on the wrong platform. Jiffy, you don't have no control of your audience. You don't retain them. You don't like own them anywhere. Whereas if we would have been putting the same effort into Instagram Reels, YouTube, TikTok Shorts, you gain those followers. You can constantly re-engage them. You can put a link to your Aavegotchimerch.com there, and once you hit the 1 million subs, you tease the merch drop, and then you have like the people who are like the fans, the real fans. You know what I mean? That love the character, they can relate to it. Nobody's going to relate to DeFi mechanics. Nobody's going to relate to staking. They don't even understand what a wallet is, and they don't need to. You know, that other whole crypto layer, that stays for the OGs. That stays for the ones who like the evangelists, if you will, of the brand, who started with it from day one, and who will ultimately become the benefactors of any success that it gains through the mainstream exposure. But trying to get mainstream exposure through the tech, I mean, we've been trying for 6 years and it didn't work.
No, that's the old narrative. That's the old narrative. Yeah, like something an evergreen. I do you know the Little Mole? That the Little Mole is a children's series. That's like 5-minute clips. I can show you the Little Mole. I will post him.
We're getting 20 million views per.
Yes, you know, it's a Czech. Like from the Czech Republic, and he draw. It was shown in communist Czechia, in the communist country. It was like a #1 hit in the evening, and also here in the West, in Austria, and in the whole of Europe. You know it too. I think globally known, and simple stories about friendship. About you could teach like the evergreens. What it is. You say hello in the morning, and you brush your teeth in the night. And the Little Mole or the Little Gotchi is telling the story. And
it's so simple. It's literally so simple, guys. I urge you all to check out the Gigaverse's YouTube channel. Go watch. They have like it's like 70 videos or something like that. It's not a lot, and I saw it happen from day one. The artist was a community member. She's a girl. Her name is Nime. She made a little cute animation. She got hired. They started, and then it was a 2-man team on the main team. It was the artist and the social media guy who does the posting and who does the community engagement and the strategy, if you will, of the posting and whatnot. And they fucking killed it, man. And it was literally over the course of 2 months. And now the entire focus over there is about growing this like gigantic consumer IP business. And just like Pudgies did, basically, Pudgies didn't have a game, right? I mean, they did eventually, but initially it was a JPEG. And they ended up getting their JPEG to $100,000 floor price, right? People were getting $100,000 airdrops for holding a single JPEG. And they made it,
And so they also had a racing game, I think. So it's not about the idea. The IP is beautiful. That we know that, we love that. So it's like it's a technical problem.
It's a distribution problem. Distribution problem. We're not on the places where we can get it out, right? We proved that. I think that we are the proof that there is something to this cute ghost IP, right? We all fell for it, and then we did the Jiffy play, and the Jiffy play kind of proved it in the next era, if you will. That 5 years later, look, we just did cute animations of repeatable formats. Literally every single popular GIF. We weren't reinventing the wheel or doing anything groundbreaking or visionary. We're literally recreating existing GIFs with our character in it, and that's the whole play.
That's the whole thing. The stories are always the same, and I use the GIFs now instead of emojis for sometimes. So it's exactly that.
So yeah, guys, read the document. I go into detail in there, and I don't want to take too much time. I don't know if the immaterial wants to get up and talk about his thing. I'll be around anyways.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff you said was really true and really inspiring. We could kick our asses into gear and actually do stuff.
So let me answer Artcore's question. So what kind of content style? So the way I talk about this also in the document is the whole strategy depends on volume and consistency, right? That's the number one. What's the word I'm looking for? That is the number one key to getting algorithmic favor, right? Consistency over everything. So any type of growth hacking tip that you're going to learn about, they're going to talk about this consistency. Once you start, you have to be posting at least once a week. Doesn't matter which platform you're on, YouTube, Jiffy, Instagram. Once you do that, then the algorithm starts to pick you up and it starts to spread your content to people. Now, the other part of this is how do you do that? Is you need to have a style that is easy to do that with, right? You can't have insane. I mean, if you're going to do it with a small team, at least, like the Gigaverse people did, for example. Look at their style. It's very rudimentary, very rough, and it has sort of a little bit of charm because of that. So it's not about like perfection and the most beautiful art. It's about consistency and like constantly putting out new content at and like a lot of content consistently, basically. And so what was the other part of the question? What style of content? Yeah, that's basically my answer to that. Is basically we need to come up with a kind of simplified, cute, easy to reproduce version of the Gotchi art that we can put out loads of content for and be consistent for 6 to 12 months, and we will see returns.
So do you mean like videos, like short form videos or posts, like image posts?
Yeah, exactly. Short form video, that's the key, right? Then they have this phenomenon called format arbitrage, where if you go look, I named some of the actual types of formats. Some of them are called put your finger here. It's insane. Literally, there are people that are recreating basically the same video. It's the same thing with the GIFs, but it's videos, right? So they have like a format where the video says put your finger here, and then you put your finger, the character comes interact with your finger.
Or like a background for Snapchat.
Oh, where'd he go? Okay, so I guess we can wait for him to come back to answer more questions. But oh, okay, he's coming back. Okay, welcome back. Your mic is muted right now. But yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome.
Yeah, so I was talking about the format arbitrage, right? Go look at for whoever is interested in this. I named some of the formats. Go put those into YouTube and click enter and see what comes out. You'll notice that the people are making these exact same formats with their character. So it's basically the exact same playbook that everyone does with the GIFs, but they have their own little formats in YouTube. So one of the biggest ones is the put your finger here thing. It's this insane phenomenon where it's like the video's like put your finger here and it draws a little outline for where you put your finger. And then it becomes this sort of like pseudo interactive like experience where the little guy comes, gives you kisses or blah, 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 or he comes and like wipes, cleans you, or like whatever it is, vibe check, stuff like that. So this is the playbook, literally. Like if you go check out the Gigaverse account, I keep harping on that. Literally almost every single one of their videos is something that exists almost like 95% plus the exact same way, and countless other accounts that do the same cute character IP. They're not doing anything groundbreaking. It's a formula, and it works. And I think we need to be competing in that stage, basically, because we have the raw material, we have the brand, we have the. I mean, Pixelcraft spent a lot of money on this, on the branding. It's beautiful. You know what I mean? It just needs to be aimed properly. And I think that's where we need to be investing some of our effort into.
How long did it take them with consistently doing it every week for them to blow up?
Literally 6 months. 6 months was their first video. And they just cracked 1 million subscribers like last week. It's insane.
And that's like from creation, or was their project existing for a while before that?
The project existed, but the thing is, there's zero correlation between the IP push and the underlying crypto game. It's like they don't even link the game in their socials. It's strictly IP dissemination. It's the cute character in all these fun formats, and he's there, and people read the comments. People, it's like full of like depressed teenagers. Oh, we have to save this guy at all costs. Oh, I was gonna kill myself, but you, I watched your video today, and now I love you forever. Please take my money. Basically, you know what I mean? Like, they're not they're building that as a separate thing, and it's like way top of funnel where the game is at the bottom. They don't even link you to it. The socials are linking you to their merch site, which they're teasing right now. They're gathering the emails, and then they're gonna do a merch drop, and they're gonna get money, and then they're gonna redistribute that money to the holders of the NFT in the project, us basically.
So is it on like
It's a beautiful
TikTok mainly? Or is it like YouTube Shorts or on X?
TikTok, YouTube. YouTube is probably the most important platform right now, but it's TikTok and it's YouTube and it's Instagram Reels. That's where the action is happening, basically.
Okay. Yeah.
And the thing is, it's not that expensive to do this. You know what I mean? It takes a 2-man team and it takes dedication. It's not free, but it's not that expensive compared to what we are used to spending on. And it's, again, it's, to me, it's like, I was surprised, honestly. Like, you guys know, I kind of like dipped out for a while. I've been keeping my eye on what's going on in the ecosystem, kind of from like a distance. But I was surprised, honestly, when Pixelcraft did this whole thing where they're gonna give the IP back. And like, I kind of felt like the sentiment was kind of like, oh, bummer. But like, to me, I was like, whoa, this is everything. You know what I mean? This is fucking like, wow. Thank you for keeping your word, at least on that. You know, I didn't think it was gonna happen technically. And yeah, I just think it's an opportunity right now to do something instead of just shell up and go like pure defense mode.
Yeah, and one feels that you changed your you know how you speak about the whole business considerably. So yeah, that's cool. It's good to see.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, Captain Hindsight, right? Like, we all learned a lot over the years.
Yeah, a little bit too much, you know, in some ways. About ourselves and about the world, you know, we all spend now a considerable time of our lives, yeah, here
And
around.
yeah, Immaterial is asking, does it generate revenue? That's the beauty of it, is that it does generate revenue. These platforms, TikTok and YouTube Shorts, they literally pay you once you start getting views. So it's like eventually this thing can start paying for itself, and not just paying for itself, but it's going to become a revenue if it takes off. And I think it will. I mean, there's no guarantees, right? For every breakout success, there's 1,000 other people that are getting 200 views. But I have confidence that it can be done. And yeah, you get paid straight up. It becomes a revenue source, right? You get paid for the views, and then eventually the merch that you're going to sell to these people, you're building the audience. That's the asset nowadays. Everybody's trying to look for an audience, and I'm saying let's build it. And it's not just merch, right? It opens up. I talk about this in the document as well. It opens up the door for way bigger things later on. Like the next Bob will come around, and he's not going to offer us $10 to buy the IP, right? He's going to offer us 100 million or more. Otherwise, kick rocks, basically, you know. And our only job right now is to, in my opinion, is to grow the IP so that we open up all the doors possible. I'm not telling you guys we need to like sit there and build out every single, you know what I mean? Like we need to start building the merch right now and getting ready. No, we need to start opening up the doors. Build the door that you can open up for opportunities to come, possibilities to become available to you in the future. You know? And the beauty of this thing is that if you do it right, like I said, you can start getting generating revenue off of it while you're doing it.
Okay. Yeah. So how exactly would we get started? What's the next step?
The next step is it's basically, I guess somebody has to make a proposal, right, and figure out how this is going to go down. Basically, can you do this yourself? Yeah, I mean, this is why I would propose something like this. I would propose like for me and maybe like one other person to take on this job, and it's basically that. It's a two-man team pumping out content nonstop for the next 6 to 12 months. And if I were to do it, honestly, I don't know even if props pass nowadays or if it's possible to pass a proposal. I don't really know. But we're just discussing the idea at this point. But if I were to do something, it's not going to be crazy like numbers, and it's not going to be like I would do it in a way that like includes some kind of kill switch where if for any reason it's not working or I disappear or whatever happens, then there are built-in mechanisms for the DAO directors or the DAO director to just turn it off. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be asking up for any money up front. The way I see it is if I were to do it, I would ask for it as a monthly pay that would be paid at the end of the month. So it's like hiring someone to do the job. And
But
that's
that
how.
would be a question. Would we pay someone over Fiverr? I mean, consistency. So we have to have two people who are consistent. I think that's very important. Yeah, as you say, you have to get the people used to it. It is a daily, companion of your life. You choose like an character or something, whatever it is, and if it fails to show up a day, then the interest is gone often. So I think that's a very important point. And how much would it cost? Such a social media manager. How much is that worth?
I'm not sure, honestly. I'm not sure. I mean, I would have to think about this and do a little bit more research. But like I
Yeah.
said, I'm not in any rush to put
No,
out a
okay.
proposal.
No,
Just
that was
testing the
not,
waters.
not at you directed. But at us all. I mean, I can ask Gemini, how much is it in how much is it in Brazil? How much is it in Cambodia? Certainly different in different countries. The thing is this: it has to be like a contract.
It would boil down to the type of content is being made. So, Bindi, you have animation experience. What you would be doing is making animations, right?
It would be animations. Yeah, it would be. It would be exactly.
Yeah,
It
so
would be
then all you would
animations.
have to do is figure out how long it would take you to make like a 30-second video, and then how often you're going to post the same video or make new ones, right? And then that's I guess how you would start to quantify it, right?
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. The
Yeah.
whole job is coming up with concepts for the videos, right? And then putting out between one. I've asked a lot of people that do this professionally and they manage social media, and the general answer that I get is the sweet spot for consistency is 1 to 3 videos a week. So that's what you want to do. You want to come up with these concepts, and the concepts, they exist already. So you're going to be doing research on YouTube amongst the other cute character IPs, right? This is the same following that the algorithm is going to push your content to. So they expect something familiar. I was saying we live in idiocracy, literally. Like familiarity is what people want. It makes them feel cuddly and warm inside, and that leads to attachment, which is what ultimately we're going to monetize. You know, we're going to get people to become real fans of this character, and they're going to want that plushie, and whatever else we decide to create for them. You kind of like you build the audience, and then you kind of test what they respond to, right? Um, which type of videos
Yeah.
they're more responsive to. You're going to start getting lots of comments, and you're going to see what type of people your audience actually is. So you'll get more information as you build.
Yeah, definitely. Figure out what works, what doesn't work. Yeah, it'll be a process. Yeah, but thank you for proposing and looking into all that.
Awesome. My pleasure.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Musashi posted research, makes a video, adds relevant SEO, affiliate links. Yeah, so then we would need like probably a website too if we're gonna lead them somewhere. Like for merch, we would need a storefront, a way to create it and ship it.
I was actually looking up whether gotchi.com is available or not. I think that would be interesting.
Mm,
That's a different question. Are we going to stick to the name, or are we going to change it, or are we going to have both? But yeah, definitely a merch shop is something that's kind of the obvious low hanging fruit, right? That's the first step, where once you start building this audience, you're going to want to kind of monetize that,
yeah,
and then other possibilities that come from there.
yeah. I feel like we would definitely need a rebrand since we're not affiliated with AAVE anymore, really. So we would
I'm
have
not
to.
sure if it's necessary or not. It was just a thought. I'd like to hear other people's thoughts about this, honestly,
Yeah,
because we're Aavegotchi to me. You know what I mean? Like I actually call it Aavegotchi. I don't even really like think about Aave, the platform, when I'm saying Aavegotchi. But
yeah,
it would be cool to have gotchi.com.
yeah,
Honestly, it's a sick domain to own. You know, maybe
yeah.
we could be both.
Yeah, it's semantics, it's roots. But yeah, it doesn't matter whether it's like Ave or not, but yeah. Whatever is fine. But yeah, gotchi.com is really catchy too.
Yeah,
Oh, Forin says Ave does mean ghost. I didn't actually know that. What language is that?
some Nordic something, Finnish, something like that, maybe.
Ah, okay. Oh, Finnish. That's cool. Oh, user default says German.
I see it works. I mean,
Yeah,
Ghost 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 Gotchi.
yeah, for sure. Okay. So thank you so much, Bindi.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you.
yeah.
Just call me Laggin, please.
Okay.
Honestly, like I've been wanting to change my name back to Laggin, but like my what's it called Nitro thing ran out, and now I can't do that. Like it's
Oh,
like it's kind of stuck right now. I'm gonna fix that soon.
okay,
But yeah, no need
Lagan.
to call me Daddy. It's fine. It's cool.
Sounds good.
Keep it casual. All right.
All right. Well, thanks for coming up and talking about this. I'll post the forum link one more time in the chat. There it is. So go to that forum with any additional questions or opinions if you have any to audience. So, anyways. Our last topic is about the DAO Facilitator roles, and Al, who published the proposal, is not here. Even though I did try to encourage him to come up, he's probably still mad about me saying that the election would be risky. And I agree it might be a conflict of interest to talk about it since this is kind of like a two proposals competing type thing, but we facilitators definitely do deserve to have a voice on this topic. Oh yeah, Nestor keeps bringing up the quorum thing. Coder Dan did ask about a follow-up on the quorum issues earlier, so we'll probably have to hear about that. Someone's gonna have to, yeah. But yes. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so we were talking about the facilitator role term. It looks like people are not wanting to renew the DAO Facilitator role term as of now, but the quorum is still very low and there's still lots of voting time for that one. And I just wanted to, I have a video that I wanted to show you guys actually. And I want to share my screen so it can be a little more cinematic. What I want to do is like explore the just run it back is the title of the video, and we can run it back to when the DAO facilitators first started, and then just just have like a fun little visual video about it. Let's do. Let's see. Trying to figure out which one would be better. Okay. I did post it onto the DAO channel. Oops, I keep trying to make it full screen for my recording, but okay, there it goes. Can you guys see it?
Well, speaking of Aavegotchi,
I think it's, okay, let me turn up the volume a bit.
down, I guess we're in our dower.
Can you guys like hear it too?
What?
If I press play? Yep.
Good morning.
everybody.
Hey, Roxy.
Good morning. So Zygo will be our first speaker today. I do want to start by saying welcome everyone to the first official DAO meeting hosted by your elected facilitators. And I want to start by saying thank you to everyone who voted for me and for everyone who won the election.
Well, speaking of Aavegotchi down, I guess we're in our dower.
What?
Yep.
Good morning.
everybody.
Hey, Roxy.
Good morning. So Zygo will be our first speaker today. I do want to start by saying welcome everyone to the first official DAO meeting hosted by your elected facilitators. And I want to start by saying thank you to everyone who voted for me and for everyone who won the election. I couldn't be happier with the results, honestly, and we're hoping for these DAO meetings to smoothly, be more organized, and more comfortable. As some have said, getting on the mic is easy, but we're going to do more than that, and I look forward to working with everyone going forward.
So we pass the mic to Forin and Phase.
GM, everyone. How are we all doing today?
GM.
How's everybody doing?
there will be definitely no singing phase. Not a chance. So I'm going to take that as a wrap. And thank you everyone for joining us. It's great to see all of you here again, week in, week out. And I'll see you in the forums and talk to you soon. Thanks very much, guys. Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna shut down the space. Phase, it's just me and you. How you feeling?
Yeah, man. I'm good, man.
Yeah.
I guess everyone should just take a deep breath, but the German homies get a, so it's all good. It's all good.
I want to drop
So-
Shiza at some point, but I didn't know if that's like racist or not. That's a bad
Yeah.
joke. Anyway,
No, they're
friend-
passionate for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all good, man.
I get it. I'm Puerto Rican.
Hey.
Thank you, everybody.
So thanks, everybody. Cool.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, so I'm not. Yeah, it was just like a little video I made, just to like do some memories, with like some editing and stuff, just like for feels.
That was awesome. I think history wrote someone. I think in this style, you could tell the whole history of Aavegotchi. Did you make it with AI assistance?
No, I made it by hand. I pulled some clips, some old clips, and some thumbnails, and then I got the music from a royalty-free website.
Okay. Yeah, that's always the problem with the music, right?
Yeah, and it's just like, yeah, it's just remembering the facilitators. And yeah, like No Future said, he's not a part of the new proposal. I just wanted to include him anyways, just because he was part of the facilitator team for a long time. Yeah, that's why I included you, No Future.
Yeah, like the foundation, yeah. And yeah, history. That's important. And it's, yeah, now it's 6 years, over 6 years, 7 years almost.
Yeah. Well, it's been like 2 years. Well, we started in the mid 2024, officially facilitating the DAO, but that was after Hefe stepped down. He was the main facilitator for a big portion of the way beginning, when before he passed the torch and we got elected. So yeah. But yeah, it's been a wild ride, guys. The voting is open if you still wanted to vote in 3 of us, me, myself, FaZe, and Forin. So yeah. But I don't really have much else to say. I do think that the other proposal is a little bit misrepresentative. It says, the one that Al made says it would pay, like, I don't know, 35 an hour, but that's not really true. But the question is, who would want to run for that election? That's a question to think about when voting.
So I didn't quite understand the issue. So what is the difference between the two proposals?
So
the one has candidates, the other has not. Is that
yes. So the one I'll post links so it's a little easier to understand. This one,
you should root for your proposal, of course. Yeah.
yeah. So this one is the to renew the term for the 3 of us, Forin, FaZe, and I. And there is a pay cut, and it's a lot cheaper than the previous term. So the previous term cost 24,000 for a 12-month term, paid monthly after each month. This one will also be paid monthly, but it would be a lot less. So it would be overall 10.4. No, 14.4. Let me just make sure. It is. I'm a little bad at numbers. Where's the. Oh, I'm looking at the snapshot. It is 14.4 thousand. Yeah, for a 12-month term. So we were making 500 USD each month, but then now we would only be making 400 USD each in Ghost after each month, and we would have added responsibilities as well. So it would be only a 3-person team, so one of us would have to host twice each month, and we would also be participating in the hangout portion of the meeting. And we weren't required to post any DAO reminders in the announcement channel before, but we will post announcements if this gets renewed. Basically, yeah, we just wanted to keep in mind that the DAO is kind of in a crisis, so it's definitely not going to cost nearly as much as it used to. But we'll just continue doing the same thing and hopefully more, and we hope that you guys vote for us.
I just muted myself because I typed, but I also listened. So yeah, it would be business as usual, but maybe yeah, like more looking on, at the budget and yeah,
Yeah.
depending on the topics. Right, you're orienting yourselves always on what we produce as a DAO, right? So if there are proposals, then you talk about the proposals. If there are threads about games, then it would be games. So so you wouldn't be, because I'm so glad that we also have 2 female voices every week, and I always envision that we will have a wider reach, and I think then it is very important that we have very, very nice voices too. So that would be a loss if that wouldn't be the case anymore. That's from my side, and yeah. And
Understandable.
are you content?
What'd you say?
With the pay? Voices, the loss of the voices, any voice that is lost is a pity.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it would be a reduction, but I still think it would be fair. It would be we all agreed that it would still be fair, and we would definitely still do the job just as eagerly.
Okay. Yeah, you have to come like to a compromise with yourself always. If you say that's not something I can spend my time on, then yeah. But if it's still okay, then fantastic.
Yeah. If it doesn't pass, then I won't be able to still keep hosting. I wouldn't really have the time to set aside, because I personally, just my personal situation. But yeah, some people might want to step up, and that's cool. But yeah, just to explain the difference between that proposal and the other one by Al, I can post that link in the chat too. That one runs from June 4th to June 18th, and that one is at a significantly reduced rate. No one's nominated for it, but let's see. This one would only be 3,640 USD, $70 per meeting. And it's a vote for to have an election with those parameters. And yeah, so if that one passes, then there will probably be an election. But yeah. Yeah. It also says 35 an hour, but that would definitely vary, and if it were me, it would be a lot less than that because I spend a lot of time doing prep work and stuff. But I hope I'm representing it fine since Al's not here. But he himself has quoted that he does not want to do any hosting or facilitating. He said he, quote, doesn't want to be involved in this cesspool formally, unquote. That's what he said last call. Let's see. Yep. That's all I have to really say about that part, though. About these proposals. Anyone have any? Yeah.
Thank you for yeah, because it wasn't clear. But you have a background in like gaming and or making content about games before Aavegotchi. If I I don't know if I so yeah, so there's a long experience in this sense, right? Because I think it's an art. There are some, you know, as I experienced this in the past decade, you know, the different games my son is into, like Minecraft and then, you know, now Fortnite and so on. Those guys who can like comment games and make it an experience, you can watch some of them really for hours. And that's like, and gals, of course, yeah, always both. And so I think that's like I was very fascinated. You know, we sat in the 90s in front of the TV, and now I really spent hours. If there are some Minecraft YouTubers who made like really great content, and also now my son watches. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but it's impressive. It's impressive. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it would be awesome for someone with experience to do this job for sure. We don't know if yeah, because I feel like this role is a very important role to have, and there are plenty of people who agree that it shouldn't just go by the wayside. And we have tried in the past, like in the early days during the transition period before the current DAO facilitators stepped up, we have tried having volunteers host the calls, and it did not turn out very well. I know that No Future said he would do it on a volunteer basis if he's not the only one doing it, which is like totally fair. So if you guys want to do try the volunteer thing again, there would definitely have to be more volunteers. But
yeah, there would have to be a fallback, like you know, because as you say, I remember, if something is voluntary, you know, you can't hold anybody, you can't call them up and say, hey, where are you? Yeah, I didn't promise anything. You know? That will be the answer. But yeah, if you like to do it and if you like yourself doing it, then I think that should also be transported. And I think all the voices, like one hears that if someone likes to talk about or talk in principle, yeah. So the counter proposal, I think, yeah, it was just a counter proposal. I don't know, maybe focusing on something else, not on this creative and like the anchor, you know, of a channel. The anchor is the voice and often the face of an enterprise.
yeah, for sure. We definitely deserve something a little more organized than someone posting a counter proposal without never having done the job or knowing what it entails, and also calling it a cesspool. It's kind of like not the best faith, you know. It's kind of bad faith.
If you say something like that and don't clarify what you mean exactly, so that can be, yeah, I prefer not even to think about what is meant by that, because I would have, you would have to, yeah, get angry maybe. That's not worth it. So okay.
Yeah. But I believe, yeah, now I feel satisfied that I've said my piece. Hopefully Phase and Forin also feel satisfied enough to end this call today. And
yeah, but
it might be my last. It's
Hmm?
pro bono
Yeah,
for
pardon.
me unless
Yeah.
the proposal passes.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, just because
Um,
our term ended at the end of May, so. But I
and
might, yeah, either we keep doing the calls or we don't. But I do want to say thank you, everyone, and it's been a great pleasure.
thank you too.
Yeah, always fun. And I'll still be in the community. I'll still be around, even if I can't host anymore. So without further ado, I think we can end this call here.
Yes, I see a Minecraft portal, right? What about Aavegotchi's in Minecraft? And the new Fortnite season started. I don't know if anybody played or saw. I haven't played yet. I will play this evening with my son. And they have gotchis. Did you see that? I mean,
In Minecraft?
in Fortnite.
Oh.
I mean, in Minecraft it would be like easily done a pack, but I don't know if it would be. I see these. They were also some seasons back. These little ghosts, but if you look at them, just look at them. Just look at the trailer that came out yesterday. In my view, I didn't expect the theme to come back, but it seems to be very popular, and it's like if someone has a wire to Epic somehow. I mean, an Aavegotchi as a backpack in Fortnite. Well, then we drive Lambos.
Yeah, I really hope we drive the Lambos off the back of Fortnite. That'd be great.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's fascinating. Yeah, right. Um, yeah, it wasn't their prime. My son tells me the history of Fortnite often, and it wasn't their prime product at first. It was just a test run, no battle royale,
It's
an
very
old
popular with the
principle of
kids.
game. Yeah, very popular, always popular. Old movies about it, and yeah, well, it was just that.
All right.
So, all right.
All right. Thank you for the
Thank you.
little end of
Pep talk.
call stuff. So I hope everyone has a great weekend. And yeah, thank you so much. See you soon.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.
You
Thank
too.
you for everything.
Yeah, of course.
Have a great weekend. Bye bye.
Bye.